Edie Falco is one of the most talented and versatile actors of our generation. Her new film, The Land of Steady Habits, premieres on Netflix this Friday. We're going to speak about the film in a moment, but first, here's a look back at Edie's illustrious career.
Edie Falco has graced both the big and small screens, playing strong female characters in Hollywood for over 25 years. Some of her early roles included her turn as Denise in the film Laws of Gravity, which led to a recurring role in Homicide: Life on the Streets. Soon after, she made her mark as Diane Whittlesey, the first female correctional officer on HBO's Oz in the late 90s.
Just because we knew each other in a former life doesn't mean you're going to get any special treatment.
But Falco's big break came when she was cast as Tony's wife Carmela on The Sopranos.
You know what I don't understand, Tony? What does she have that I don't have?
A role which earned her 3 Emmys and 2 Golden Globes. Falco also spent 6 years playing the drug-addicted Nurse Jackie.
You seem very agitated. Maybe I should get you some Xanax and Nembutal?
Winning another Emmy in the process. More recently, Falco took on the role of Leslie Abramson, defense attorney to the Menendez brothers in NBC's Law & Order True Crime, which has earned her yet another Emmy nomination.
Is it possible Eric and his brother honestly believed their parents were going to kill them?
Her latest project, the Netflix movie The Land of Steady Habits. She plays a woman whose husband is suffering a midlife crisis and starts making all the wrong choices.
What is wrong with you, Anders? You are the one who said you needed space. It's not my job anymore. I don't have to babysit you. I don't have to make sure.
Please help me welcome Edie Falco. Hi. Great to have you here. It's fun watching the highlight reel. Can I just ask you, because I know you're a lifelong New Yorker, what is this day? We're all sitting here feeling it and thinking about our last guests.
Yeah, you're not feeling it alone, I'll tell you. I mean, I was here the day, we all have our 9/11 stories, but I was on the street watching the whole thing happen, and I don't know, a number of years will ever pass where it doesn't still get me right in my gut. Just very deep, as if something happened to New York City is sort of like my family, my baby.
That's right, to its very soul.
That's
that day.
right.
And it's like, not only all the heroism that happened that day, but my husband talks about how he sat in this pub with all of his buddies, because they were all in the financial district, all of his friends, and just waiting for one after the other to come in. And one after the other they did, except for one.
Oh, no.
And by the end of the day, they realized, that they had lost their friend. And you can't help but think it's like 17 years in a way, it seems like a lifetime, and in a way, it seems like nothing.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
It is, I think we store information so differently during traumas like that, so it doesn't make sense in the scheme of the way I think about time passage, for sure.
I read that in shooting this latest project that you're on here to promote for Netflix, it was shot in Westchester, and that's a priority for you because you actually don't like to leave New York so much.
If I can help it. I'm a little snobby that way, which I don't know. I mean, hopefully I can stay that way, but I have 2 kids. I can't just like pick them up and bring them places. When I was 20 and just out of school, you pack a bag and go off to Bulgaria. You're like, I can't.
I'm done with that.
Can't do it anymore.
Yeah,
no.
Brooklyn it is.
I like my house.
Yeah. How old are your kids?
10 and 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're little. Yeah,
they're little.
You're still in it. You're in it.
Let's move on to the next conversation. I love them dearly, but it's a hard age.
So it was fun watching the clip of the new Netflix movie, The Land of Steady Habits, based on the book. We saw, among other things, Carmela upset about the cheating.
Yeah.
About the cheating.
Yeah.
And this is becoming a theme in your movies now because the husband in The Land of Steady Habits finds himself.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work out so well for the wife. It rarely does.
Yes.
Right? So what attracted you to that?
Well, when I first approach something, I have to read it, and if it's something that grabs me and makes me want to keep reading, that's a first sign. Also, Nicole Hoff-Center, I'm a huge fan of her movies, have been since we both started independent film a long time ago, and Ben Mendelsohn is a force to be reckoned with. So I was thrilled to be able to work with him, and Bill Camp and Elizabeth Marvel. A lot of really great actors, and that's kind of what I go for these days.
And also, you have this history of playing these strong, dynamic women. Most recently, when we talked, it was Leslie Abramson. You remember the Menendez lawyers. the lawyer for Eric Menendez.
Right.
And we much more to discuss with Edie about that and other things when we come back. Don't go away. And we're back now talking with award-winning actor Edie Falco. So last we met, you were doing the Menendez brothers shoot and playing Leslie Abramson, this fiery, no-holds-barred attorney, for which you won, was it your 14th Emmy nomination?
Okay.
It's really incredible. Can I ask you honestly, does it still mean something to you?
You know, it means that I still get to work in this field that I adore. I get to do this thing that I love, and people still are watching it and they're responding to it. That's what it means.
Yeah, well, it's pretty incredible from our vantage point.
Oh,
And well deserved.
Thank you.
You, in addition to your film work and your screen work, you're in an off-Broadway show called The True.
Yes.
And we just moments ago were looking at Kristen Gillibrand out there, and New Yorker herself.
Right.
That the play has something to do with her ancestry.
Kind of, and I have to say, I had already agreed to do the play before I knew that. I don't know why I feel like I need to say that, but I didn't
It's not a partisan thing for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a story of a fascinating woman who had her hands in politics, though she didn't really have a title, and it turns out to have been Kirsten Gillibrand's grandmother.
Her nana.
Her nana.
Her nana was
Holly
involved.
Noonan, yeah.
Okay, was involved in politics.
Yes.
And I mean, has immersing yourself in that world, even on just the stage, given you any takeaways that might be usul to the rest of us who are watching the political show?
I had already been immersed in that world inadvertently. I have become sort of obsessed with politics, like many of my friends over the last number of years. So I kind of felt like I was already there. Mm-hmm. But overall, what it makes you feel like is all the panic and the hand-wringing that's going on right now. We've been through so much of this before. The history is sort of cyclical. Things that went on in the play, which takes place in the 70s, are ringing true now about things that we think, it's never happened before. How will we repair this? Or that I think our country, our democracy is stronger than a lot of the little things that can happen in its name. So I found that to be comforting.
That's very comforting.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Whether you support anyone in particular or you don't.
Yes.
It's comforting to know
That's
that
right.
the country
that
is sort of
it
steady over the long haul.
all of it.
So what's next for you?
Sorry.
What's next for you? Because you never rest.
I rest. Trust me, I rest. I don't know. I have a lot of things that are sort of in the pipeline. This industry is so unusual now with, Netflix and Amazon and watching shows on your watch. I don't know what the heck's going on anymore. So
it's very slimming, I hear, for an actor.
I look great. This big. But I don't know what will come to be and what won't. So there's a lot of interesting stuff coming down the pipeline. We'll see what comes to fruition.
We will be watching it all.
Oh.
It's been a pleasure, honestly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love everything you've done. Thank you. And don't forget, The Land of Steady Habits will be streaming on Netflix and will also be in select theaters this Friday. We'll be right back.